Stay, madam. I must talk a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to slaughter. As for my daughters, Richard, they shall be praying nuns, not weeping queens, therefore level not to hit their lives.
You have a daughter called Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, and slander myself as false to Edward's bed. To save her life of bleeding slaughter, I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Wrong not her birth. She is a royal princess.
To save her life, I'll say she is not
Her
so.
life is only safest in her birth.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
Oh, at their births, good stars were opposite.
No, to their lives, ill friends were contrary.
All unavoided is the doom of destiny.
True, when avoided, grace makes destiny. My babes were destined to a fairer death if grace had blessed thee with a fairer life.
You speak as if I had slain my cousins.
Cousins indeed, and by their uncle cousined, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, freedom, life, whose hands soever lanced their tender hearts thy head, all indirectly gave direction. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt till it was whetted on thy stone-hard heart to revel in the entrails of my lands.
Madam, so thrive I in my enterprise, and dangerous success of bloody wars, as I intend more good to you and yours, than ever you and yours by me were harmed.
What good is covered in the face of heaven to be discovered that can do me
The
good?
advancement of your children, gentle lady,
Up to some scaffold, there to lose their heads.
unto the dignity and height of fortune, the high imperial type of this earth's glory.
Flatter my sorrow with report of it. Tell me, what state, what dignity, what honor canst thou demise to any child of mine?
Even all I have. I, and myself and all, will I withal endow a child of thine. So in the lethe of thy angry soul, thou drown the sad remembrance of those wrongs, which thou supposest I have done to thee.
Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness last longer, telling than thy kindness date.
And know that from my soul, I love thy daughter.
My daughter's mother thinks it with her soul.
What do you think?
That thou dost love my daughter from thy soul, and from thy soul's love didst thou love her brothers, and from my heart's love I do thank thee for
Be
it.
not so hasty to confound my meaning. I mean that with my soul I love thy daughter, and do intend to make her Queen of England.
Well then, who dost you mean shall be her king?
Even he that makes her queen, who else should be?
What? Thou?
Even so. How think you of it?
How canst thou woo her?
That would I learn of you, as one being best acquainted with her humor.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Send to her by the man that slew her brothers a pair of bleeding hearts. Thereon engrave Edward and York, and happily will she weep. Therefore present to her, as sometime Margaret did to thy father, steeped in Rutland's blood, a handkerchief, which say to her did drain the purple sap of her sweet brother's body, and bid her wipe her weeping eyes withal.
You mock me, madam! This is not the way to win your daughter.
There is no other way. Unless thou could put on some other shape, and not be Richard that hath done all this.
Say that I did all this for love of her.
Hey, then indeed she cannot choose but hate thee for having bought love with such a bloody spoil.
Look, what is done cannot now be amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If I did take the kingdom from your sons, to make amends I will give it to your daughter. The loss you have is but a son being king, and by that loss, your daughter is made queen. Go then, my mother, to thy daughter go. And bold her bashful years with your experience, and prepare her ears to hear a wooer's tale. When this arm of mine hath chastised the petty rebel dull-brained Buckingham, bound with triumphant garlands will I come, and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed, to whom I will retail my conquest won, and she shall be sole victress, Caesar's Caesar.
What were I best to say? That her father's brother should be her lord? Or her uncle? or he that slew her brothers and her uncles? Under what title shall I woo for thee that God, the law, my honor, and her love can make seem pleasing to her tender years?
Tell her the king that may command entreats.
That at her hands, which the king's king forbids.
Say I will love her everlastingly.
And how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly enforce unto her fair life's end.
And how long fairly shall her sweet life last?
As long as heaven and nature lengthens it.
As long as hell and Richard likes it.
Your reasons are too shallow and too quick.
No. My reasons are too deep and dead. Too deep and dead, poor infants in their grave. Harp on it still shall I till heartstrings break.
Harp not on that string, madam. That is past. And by my George, my garter, and my crown.
Profaned, dishonored, and the third usurped.
I swear.
By nothing. For this is no oath. If thou canst swear by something to be believed, swear then by something that thou hast not wronged.
By myself.
Thyself is self-misused.
Not by the world.
'Tis full of thy foul wrongs.
My father's death.
Thy life hath it dishonored.
Why then, by heaven.
Heaven's wrong is most of all. If thou hast feared to break an oath with him, the unity the king my husband made, thou hadst not broken, nor my brothers died. If thou didst fear to break an oath by him, the imperial medal circling now thy head had graced the tender temples of my child, and both princes had been breathing here, which now two tender bedfellows for dust, thy broken faith hath made the prey for worms. What canst thou swear by now?
The time to come.
That thou hast wronged in the time were past? Swear not by time to come that thou hast used, misused, ere used by time's repast.
As I intend to prosper and repent. Be opposite all planets of good luck. To my proceeding, if with dear heart's love, immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, I tender not thy beauteous princely daughter. In her consists my happiness and thine. Without her, follows to myself and thee, herself, the land, and many a Christian soul. Death, desolation, ruin, and decay cannot be avoided but by this. It will not be avoided but by this. Therefore, dear mother, I must call you so. Be the attorney of my love to her. Plead what I will be, not what I have been. Not my deserts, but what I will deserve. Urge the necessity and state of times, and be not peevish fond in great designs.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
Aye, if the devil tempt you to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
Aye, if yourselves remembrance wrong yourself.
But thou didst kill my children!
In your daughter's womb, I bury them, where in that nest of spicery they breed selves of themselves to your recomforture.
Shall I go win my daughter to thy will?
Be a happy mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me very shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bear her my true love's kiss. And so farewell. Relenting fool, and shallow, changing woman.